When you take a look at 1A, not a lot of teams left.
No.
Southern Wells did get a bye. They're going to be at Triton. Triton is pretty good, man. 49-7 over Southwood last week. North Miami is going to Fremont. Fremont is 4-6, most wins in the Trevor Thomas era.
Yep.
And then also we've got South Adams in the sectional 44 bracket. South Adams is at Tri. South Adams offensively has been impressive. Over 50 points in both of the last 2 games. But Tri's pretty decent.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good matchup for them, especially on the road. How do you see South Adams playing Tri as we delve into a little 1A there? Because, as I mentioned, South Adams, they posted a shutout. They posted shutouts too.
Yeah.
So it isn't just offense, but I don't know. When you think South Adams, I think offense.
Right, you do. Yeah. Tri is going to be a much bigger challenge than Union City was, that's for sure. And I think, when you look at South Adams, we know they can move the ball, they can score, maybe not vintage South Adams as we think, but I think defensively is the big thing here is against good competition, they've struggled to get enough stops, I think. And that's going to be, I think, the key in this matchup is can they go on the road, defense, get some turnovers, get some stops, give maybe their offense some opportunities on a couple of short fields to convert, don't fall behind multiple scores early. I think those are the keys for South Adams.
It's funny because maybe it's because I'm a dork, but I was looking at South Adams stats this weekend. They've thrown for over 1,700 yards this year and rushed for just over 1,000. How many 1A teams have thrown for almost twice as many yards as they've rushed for? I mean, you think 1A football, you think ground and pound, and then you throw it occasionally.
Yeah.
They're the exact opposite, which can't hurt them against a team like Tri, who's probably used to seeing teams move the ball offensively just through the run.
Yeah, and I think you look at South Adams too, and maybe it's not as good of a team as we've seen in recent years in Bern, but you're not dealing with Adams Central in the sectional. So could we see a South Adams team that maybe isn't as good as the last several years, but has a better opportunity to win a sectional than when they had to match up with the Flying Jets at some point? And maybe this is it. If you can steal a game at Tri coming up this weekend, all of a sudden you're in the sectional final and anything can happen. So we'll see if Coach Mosier can keep it going and Bern take it on the road here on Friday.
And very likely it would be Madison Grant that awaits.
The Argyles.
Unless Hagerstown can do it.
You never know.
Don't ever put anything past the Tigers. Final question, what are you most looking forward to about this Friday? I mean, like I was saying at the top of the show, to me this is one of the most fun and interesting, intriguing weeks of the year.
Other than maybe week 3 where you have the first week of conference play, the NE8 and SAC, this is one of my favorite weeks too because you have all 6 classes involved. And this is really maybe the last week that you see maybe teams that are just on borrowed time. After this week, you really start looking at okay, majority of these teams can win a sectional and maybe go further. And I think we look at maybe some of the surprises we saw last week. But maybe the really only surprise was Heritage, but in terms of the manner of victory is Bishop the Wenger too. But do we have a couple more surprises in store this week? And I think maybe this is the week that we have enough matchups to say, maybe we're sitting here next week going, wow, I didn't see that happening.
Hopefully we are. We will discuss it here on Inside the Zone. For Justin, I'm Glenn, and we'll see you next Monday.